Hello everybody and welcome to Academic Vocabulary Set 1. Okay, so here we have our vocabulary list, which I'm going to read out. Then I would like you to pay particular attention to the pronunciation and the intonation of my voice. So intonation is the tone of voice. And then please repeat the word. So, number 1, analysis. 2, research. 3, impact. 4, participation. 5, sufficient. 6, phase. 7, exposure. 8, underlying. 9, currency. 10, violation. Okay. So our first word is analysis. If you see in red letters in brackets, they are the prepositions. So the preposition of analysis is of. So when we're talking about analysis, we're talking about an investigation, finding out what's going on, an examination, quite an in-depth one. Okay, so close, comprehensive, comparative, detailed, further, historical, financial, careful. After careful analysis, he decided not to invest in this business. Research, prepositions into, on. Okay, so when we're doing research, we're studying things, we're looking into things, researching, taking surveys, that kind of thing. So, do, carry out, conduct, academic, extensive, further, in-depth, market. The doctor has carried out extensive research on the disease. Impact, prepositions on, of. So when something has an impact, it has an effect. It has an influence on what's happening. Okay, so have a, dramatic, profound, limited, devastating, positive, negative. Fossil fuels have a negative impact on the environment. Participation, of or in. Okay, so participation is when we are in attendance, when we're present, when we're giving to, we're taking part in. Okay, so active, broad, employee, full. Staff participation in professional conferences is encouraged by the management. Sufficient. So when we're talking about sufficient, we're talking about something, it's enough. It's enough or it's adequate. So sufficient. Evidence, information, data. The company did not have sufficient funds to pay for the goods. Phase, preposition of, in. So when we're in a phase, we're in a stage or a chapter. So early, initial, crucial, transition. We're entering a new phase in international relations. Exposure, exposure to. So exposure is when we're vulnerable, we've been exposed to something, or if we're vulnerable, we can be open, we can be vulnerable. So, continuous, brief, long term, exposure to radiation, sun. Even a brief exposure to radiation is very dangerous. Okay, underlying. So when we talk about something that's underlying, it's something that's there, but we can't really see it. It's sort of the root or something that's hidden, it's intrinsic. So, underlying, fact, reason, principle, cause. The investigation focused on the underlying causes of the fire. Currency. So currency is money, cash or bills. So we have dollar bills, pound bills. Okay, so national, foreign, convertible. The US dollar fell yesterday against most foreign currencies. Violation, violation of, preposition of. Okay, so a violation is an abuse or a breach or something that's offensive. We often talk about people's human rights and a violation of human rights. So, major, serious, major violation of traffic rules, serious violation of human rights. The first violation of speed limit can result in a $150 fine. Okay, so now we're going to start some exercises, and the first of these exercises is a gap fill exercise. So I want you to read each of the sentences carefully, take your time, and you have a choice of 5 words at the top, which are analysis, sufficient, impact, participation, phase. So take some time and then we shall go through the answers together. Okay, number 1. Our manager wants more participation in the decision making. Number 2. Fortunately, the disease was discovered in an early phase. 3. We need sufficient time to deal with the problem. 4. These last articles show a detailed analysis and interpretation of facts. 5. Technology has had an irreversible impact on society. So the second part of the gap fill exercise, words at the top are research, exposure, currency, underlying, violation. So please take your time, read the sentences carefully. Number 6. Unemployment may be an underlying cause of the rising crime rate. 7. Exposure to radiation can lead to malformation of the embryo. 8. The currency was tied to the gold standard. 9. They blockaded the Suez Canal in violation of international agreement. I shall read that again. They blockaded the Suez Canal in violation of international agreement. 10. She conducts research into the causes of Alzheimer's disease. Okay, well done everybody. Now we are going on to multiple choice. So you have a choice of 3, A, B, or C. You're going to read the sentences and make your choice, so take some time. Number 1. Please say he was stopped for a traffic violation. 2. She does research into how children acquire language. 3. Prolonged exposure to the sun can cause skin cancer. 4. Her speech made a profound impact on everyone. 5. I think that the underlying problem is education, unemployment, and bad housing. Okay, so we're on to the second part of our multiple choice exercise. So please take some time. Number 6. It was thought that he'd committed the crime, but there wasn't sufficient evidence to convict him. 7. High inflation has depreciated the Russian currency. 8. Most children benefit greatly from participation in a playgroup. 9. We have entered upon a new phase in history. 10. The committee decided that further analysis of the data is needed. Okay, and now we are onto our table of speech. So we're going to look at all the words that we have looked at today and study them. And on to the final part of our lesson, which is the restatement exercise. So restatement is also known as paraphrasing. And when we talk about paraphrasing and restatement, it's about two sentences that have very similar meanings. Okay, so we're going to start with you reading the top sentence, and the second sentence is when you will make a choice to paraphrase that sentence. Okay, take your time, and then we're going to go through the answers together. Okay, number 1. The professor told us to write a review of the following poem. We're supposed to provide a critical analysis of the poetry below. 2. Before you buy a property, it's a good idea to carry out some investigation. You should contact some research before, sorry, read that again. 2. Before you buy a property, it's a good idea to carry out some investigation. You should conduct some research before purchasing a house. 3. We need to evaluate the influence on climate change. The impact on climate change must be assessed. 4. We want more people to be involved in decision making. We expect more participation in the decision making. 5. Many diseases have stress as the root cause. Stress is the underlying cause of many illnesses. Okay, part 2 of restatement exercise. So please take your time. Read both sentences carefully. Number 6. We need enough time to deal with the problem. To cope with the situation, we'll need sufficient time. 7. The hospital committee is talking about a new medicine that is still in the testing stage. The hospital committee is discussing a brand new drug that is in the experimental phase. 8. Getting direct sunlight for a long time can cause skin cancer. Skin cancer can be caused by prolonged exposure to the sun. 9. The concept was to have a monetary union in European political life. In European political life, the idea was common currency. 10. One of the most widespread traffic offences is speeding. Speeding is one of the most common traffic violations. Okay, well done everybody. That's the end of our first lesson. I hope it wasn't too difficult or too painful, and I hope you will join me next time.